Hey kids, Christine here, and today's video is simply a little kit tips tutorial on making tabbed versus untabbed paper clips. And I've got two sets coming out now, a fall reading set and a, these are both fall reading, and the pumpkin patch. So very autumny, fun, and warm. I really like them. But I've gotten a lot of questions lately on the difference between making the tabbed version of a paperclip and the untabbed. So I'm going to show you how it's done and how you can get both types from the same kit, and then talk a little bit about the kits that were designed specifically to be tabbed or untabbed style paperclips. But you can fudge it a little bit, so that's what we're going to do today. So basically, here are the two most recent kits, the pumpkin patch and the fall reading. Now, let's start with the fall reading. So basically, we are going to do as instructed. And I always score first. And I'm going to do that right now. And I just use the back of my knife. You can use a scoreboard or anything you prefer. You can even skip scoring if you're a good folder. All right, so I'm going to score these first three. And not this one, all right? This is the fold that determines whether a paperclip is tabbed or untabbed. I'm not going to score that at all right now because I want flexibility. If you know you're having the untabbed version, go ahead and score this, but you don't have to. And all of the instructions are written here in the margin so that if you forget, there's a reminder there. So then we're following the instructions to trim to the artwork and then trim to this line. And now we can leave all that in place. So now if we know we want to make both tabbed and untabbed versions, where are they here, of our paper clips, then let's split these apart and we can make a few tabbed and a few untabbed. So just line up to what would be the normal cut line. I'm just going to go 3 and 3. There we go. And now I'm going to fold on these lines. So this is a mountain fold, so it's going to fold up like a mountain. This is a valley fold, it'll fold down. This is a mountain fold, and come back this way. So now here is the whole deal. If you're going to have an untabbed version, the shorter version, okay, you are simply, all you have to do is fold this along this edge. Okay, then trim along here. So I'm using a knife, you could use scissors. In fact, I'm going to use scissors because it actually is a little easier. I'm just going to trim right along the edge. Okay, and then cut them apart. Ta-da! All right, then we go into rounding corners and all of that, and we'll do that. But first we're going to address this. Now these are going to be our tabbed versions. So we do the same thing. We do our mountain and our valley. And then the next one is a mountain again. But now, instead of folding this against this edge, we are going to match this edge with the bottom of the clip. And that is going to give us the extra space at the top for our tab. Okay, and we do the same thing. We're going to separate them. There we go. So now let's pick one. And you can see these are untabbed. And then here's one that has the extra space at the top. So you can see the difference between the tabbed, the tabbed and the untabbed versions. All right, so it really is that simple. Now this kit was specifically designed to do both styles, and sorry, I just hit the camera, and you can see that the pattern on the back just very elegantly follows over to the other side. So then on the back side of this, you have these fall patterns. Okay, so this whole artwork just very nicely cascades onto the other side. So on the front you have this decorated books, and on the back you have a simple fall design. So that's true of all of these. Okay, great. So now what about these, for example? These were not specifically designed to be tabbed, so they fold on a hard line, and you can see in the artwork they fold in a hard line. Now that doesn't mean you can't make them tabbed, and I'm going to do that now. And then we'll glue up a couple and actually make some paper clips. So for that, let's do our scoring. And again, for this one, I'm not going to do this last score in this case. Again, if you knew you were doing untabbed, go ahead, score, but we want to do both. So I'm going to come here and trim the border off, trim to the artwork, and trim to this guideline. And then, like we did with the others, we're going to cut the ones we don't want tabbed, or we do want tabbed, however you look at it. We're going to just cut them in half. Okay? So then, same thing, we're going to fold our mountain, our valley, our mountain. And now, let's make these tabbed. So for a tabbed paper clip, I'm going to fold it to the edge. So matching up the two bottom edges. Okay. And let's give it a little trim. Easy enough. But now you see the difference? In this case, because these were not designed to be tabbed, the transition between the artwork and the tab itself is harsher. It's straight line. It's a straight line right across. Let's let this guy focus. There we go. And is not as fluid as, say, this artwork that transfers over to the back. So this has plain on the back. So that's still fine. That's a tab and can be used as such. So let's take a few of these and round the corners. And stick a little paper clip in there, and they only fit one way with the small side on the small side of the mountain. Okay, and we just glue them up. Okay, so I always stick a little right in here, and then I just do the edges. Flip that over. Always again put a little in the middle, and then get the edges. And then finally, the back. All right. Press that down to dry. I would have inked them, and I still can, and will later. So now we've got a cute little tabbed paper clip that may or may not come into focus. There we go. A cute little tabbed paper clip versus the untabbed version, the original version. So you see, you can be as creative as you want with this space up here now. And it still looks like a tab. And we could take a little a number label, maybe, and put that on if we want, or they each come with some word labels. So that sort of softens that division. You can see, you might do something like that. And then on these you have the whole back to decorate, which again, you could put the label on this side, or really, I mean, anything, any of those scrappy things that you'd feel like collaging. So there you have the difference between tabbed and untabbed and how to make both kinds from one kit. So again, when you see a kit of mine that has artwork that travels from the front to the back, that means it's made to be automatically tabbed or not tabbed, your choice. And then those that have a stronger division maybe weren't designed to be tabbed, but can be, as you can see. I mean, this looks super cute, right? So that's all there is. It's fall, so I'm happy and I hope you are. And I've got tons of things to share with you, which I'm going to really try and hustle this week and get them out for you. Go create, be awesome.